too. So.
IHTM Sports.
Welcome, folks, to historic Indian Hill Tomahawk Stadium, where the Indian Hill Lady Braves will be taking on the DeSales Saints in a grudge match of last year's state championship game. I'm sorry, it's the Stallions. I've just been corrected. Where the Lady Braves last year lost a close game in the state championship game against the Stallions by 1 point. And we will be bringing you the live action here on IHTN TV, where we are Mike Fruland and Rob Young in the booth. Mike, this is going to be a great game. DeSales comes in undefeated so far this year. The Braves come in with one loss. They're 14-1. And this is probably the state championship game we'll see later on this month.
Well, if everybody holds their course, that's what we should see. It's kind of a nice surprise. Yes.
So here comes the Lady Braves out onto the field. Today, starting in the cage for the Braves is going to be Emily Anderson. And we'll see who else is starting today.
And now for the visiting St. Francis DeSales.
So the starters for DeSales. Number 99, senior Sarah Deacon. Number 97, sophomore Annie Hazelton in the goal. Number 17, Hannah Megol. Number 11, Emily Stewart. Number 4, Izzy Arbano. Number 2, Sid Rick. Number 28, Sydney DeCamp. Number 19, Sophia Finoti. Number 12, Liz Rankin. Number 8, Bella Imlay. Number 6, Maddie Gersh. And number 1, junior Peyton Nebraska. And the starting goalie for the Stallions is Emily Fracker. Fracker.
Like a Ritz. Like a Ritz cracker.
Number 2, Georgia Kennedy.
Georgia Kennedy for the Braves. Number 3, Jory Alf. Number 6, Anna Mayhew. Number 8, Morgan Yamaguchi. Number 25, Gretchen Leschek. Number 36, Nina Price. Number 27, Lexi Mayheim.
Number 10, Stephanie Tranter. Number 12, Sarah Price.
Number 12, Sarah Price.
Number 22, Steve Free.
Number 19, Reagan Wentz. Number 29, Ellie Rabinol. Number 31, Wesley Osball. Number 11, Lily Vance. Number 14, Robin Schumacher, number 30. Bailey Balthauer, and number 42 in cage for the Braves, Emily Anderson, who's had a great year this year, Mike. The only game that they've lost is to New Albany. We're going to take a short break here, folks, for the national anthem as it's performed by one of the Lady Braves.
For the play of our national anthem by senior number 25, Gretchen Leschuk.
And Gretchen Leschuk will bring us the national anthem. Well, just as the song ends and says, home of the Braves, we're at Tomahawk Stadium tonight, Mike, bringing you this epic battle between the number 1 team in the state, DeSales, and our number 2, Lady Braves. The Braves, you got to think, are coming into this really, really hot tonight.
Yeah, they should be, Rob. They've had a great season. They obviously finished off very strong last year. DeSales is undefeated, and this is a special treat to get number 1 and number 2 teams in the state this late in the season before the playoffs. It's likely that they'll see each other again if they both hold course and finish their business. What happens here today is basically just for pride. I don't think it's going to have anything to do with whether they wind up facing each other in the championship game this year. All indications are that they probably will. But this will be a good test for both of them to get a feel for the other team, and should make for a good championship game if they both make it to the championship weekend.
You know, one of the things that is always great when you get 2 high-caliber teams like this in women's lacrosse, the women's game is much about speed and finesse, unlike the boys' game, which is about, speed and physicality. This game is really about finesse, moving the ball around, having great stick skills, and great footwork. The Braves have only lost 1 game this year. They lost to New Albany in a close one up in Columbus early in the season. So taking the draw for the Braves is...
That's going to be a violation. It's going to go Indian Hill.
It's going to be Indian Hill ball as Ravenel gets the draw win. Taking the draw for DeSales was number 19, sophomore, Grace Linsmeyer.
The whistle already.
Whistle gets the Stallions. Ravenel just outside the box. Restart.
I hope that's not a sign of how this is going to go.
And so unlike the boys' game where we played 12 4-minute quarters, this is a 25-minute half. You'll see a lot more stoppage in this game than you do in a boys' game as the Braves work into the fan, known as the arc.
It's going to be a foul on DeSales there on Lily Lance.
And she's going to come out to the 8-meter arc for a free start. And she scores. So the Braves go up early with 24:09 left in the game. 1-0 in the half, 1-0.
24:05 to go in the first half. The Braves
So, Mike, you know, in the men's game, we call, for those that are joining us for the first time, for a women's game, we have the face-off circle. It's not called a face-off, it's the draw circle. In the boys' game, we call it a face-off X. Here in the girls' game at the center of the field, it is a draw circle. You'll notice that all the players except for two are outside that circle. You've got Ravenel, Finati for the Stallions taking the draw.
That's sophomore Sophia Finati. That's
Sophomore.
one of the coach's daughters. He's got a senior daughter.
Ravenel gets the ground ball, wins that draw. It's to Lily Lance, who's coming up into the offensive zone for the Braves, charging hard.
Another whistle.
And
So
it's going to be another whistle on the Stallions.
Whistle goes against the Stallions. Lance is going to be 8-meter arc on the restart.
So Lance with the restart from the 8-meter arc.
Nice.
So right now the clock on screen, folks, is about a minute off. We're at 23:33, and the Braves go up 2-0 here at 23:33, and we'll see another draw at the arc. So quick start for the Braves, Mike.
I think that's a good sign. You got Lily Lightning Lance striking twice already this early in the first half.
So Ravenel and Fianati will take the draw again. And the Braves control the draw again into their offensive end is number 14, Robin Schumacher, moving the ball to Lance. So this is where the game gets fun in the girls' game, because they're going to set their offense up. You're going to see a lot of ball movement. You're going to see them working it in, a lot of face guarding. Lance with a quick dodge, and another score for the Braves.
That's a hat trick already inside of 2 minutes for Lily Lance. That's a really good start for the Braves.
So in less than 2 minutes, the Braves go up 3-0. Folks, just so you know, in lacrosse, a 3-0 lead sounds great, but that is, as you can see, in 2 minutes, we scored 3 goals off of 3 draws. And here comes a replay of that goal by Lance.
You'll watch her roll dodge here on the replay that gets her open on this one. Her first 2 goals were on
You'll see the change and roll of direction, and a great left-handed shot by Lily over the left-hand shoulder of the goalie.
Much like the winning goal last night in the men's game. Little roll, left-handed shot.
Ravenel wins the draw again, drops it to the deck, and
took a shot to the hand. Looks like Ellie's he's shaking it off.
And the Braves are bringing it back quickly.
There's Robin Schumacher going.
Schumacher
to
takes a shot, backed up by the Braves.
Sarah Price will bring it in from X. And they're back in play. Ellie's got the ball out top. Lily's trailing behind. Ball's going to come back out. No, Ellie's going to hold on to it.
This DeSales team has 6 seniors on it. And looks like a slew of sophomores and a couple freshmen, and they have 3 juniors. So this is not the same team the Braves played against last year. Some of these girls I'm sure were out there. The Braves are a little more of a senior-led team with
There's another dodge to the goal, and it's going to be another. Is that another foul? Lily's going to get another 8-meter shot here.
So it'll be a
It's going to be Lance, 8-meter arc on the restart for the Braves.
Gets
free restart for Lance from the 8-meter. And see the DeSales girls line up. And she passes to Bailey Bathalter and scores, but there's a whistle first. I don't know what that was. I heard a whistle before the shot. Shooting space. That was a shooting space violation on DeSales.
Which for the life of me, I don't understand why they don't do that every time.
And they're going to call this on, looks like the Braves. So DeSales will get the restart. So Mike and I both have young men that play this game, and it's a whole different game. So if we miscall things, please forgive us, folks. As I have 4 boys that play, Mike has his youngest son plays. I think he had 2 older sons that played as well. Correct, Mike?
Actually, my older boys were basketball and soccer players. Lacrosse hadn't really hit Northwest Ohio when we lived up there at that time. My oldest son considered switching over from soccer to lacrosse his senior year in high school when they developed a program up there, and I think wisely stayed with soccer since that was his passion. But my youngest one has been
I think he was born with a stick in his hand.
He was pretty much born with a stick in his hand. Actually, the first stick that he had was the stick that I played with in college, which he wouldn't pick that up now if you paid him.
Right, good old Bowling Green State University is where Mike played this game.
The equipment was different, and the game was different, and DeSales.
Nice stop by Emily Anderson. DeSales keeps control of the ball.
You know, that was a nice pass to the middle, though. It shows you what we got. There's another cut to the middle, and she missed the chance, but
lots of cutters in. Back out top above the 12-meter mark. Going to be a dodge. Great defense by Lance on that. Bailey doing a great job of matching up with her player.
Little face dodge, roll dodge.
Ball down on the deck.
Ball goes down. Wesley Alspaw comes up with the
ball
ball.
Comes up with the ball as she quickly moves it upfield.
Nice clear. And that's got to be one of the Price sisters.
I believe that is number 12, Sarah Price.
Sarah Price.
Senior. One of the seniors on this squad.
Sarah will bring it up to the wing, and looks like she's going to roll it back around behind the cage, set up the offense.
So here comes Ravenel back on the court, on the field.
Ellie dodging. Ellie's got stick skills like the boys do, Rob. I've watched her, and if you've ever worked with one of these girl sticks, it's not easy. It's like
I would argue for young boys, the best way to get their stick skills better is put a girl's stick in their hand.
I couldn't agree more.
There's no pocket. It teaches them how to cradle the ball much better than with a boy's stick. And quite frankly, if you watch some of these girls, like you said, their stick skills are better.
Watch Ellie shoot. If she takes a couple steps and shoots this, there's another. Now, is that a shooting space also?
I believe that was another shooting space.
I don't understand that call because it just absolutely takes the advantage away from the scoring team. And as it turned out the last time, the next time you try it, you don't get the goal.
Braves maintain possession on the backup here. Working it around.
Nice pass to the middle.
Pass. Another
just over
nice
the top
shot.
of the
That one's
cage.
off mark, but backed up by.
That was Robin Schumacher on the shot.
And Reagan Wentz on the
over
backup.
top.
So a lot of youngsters on the field for the Braves, but they're tempered by a stalwart of seniors in Lance, Schumacher, Price.
Ball's loose.
And you got to think first-year coach McDonald has to love how this team has developed this year.
Yeah, I would think so, and vice versa. I think the girls just love the coach this year. She's really become engaged with this team.
Nice
What a
save
nice
by the
save.
keeper. That's Fracker with the stop.
It looks like that's going back to DeSales, if I understand the call. Yeah. Right.
You wrote Fracker.
I wrote cracker, C-R-A-C-K-E-R.
Looks like an F.
It's not F, you got to.
Looks
second half.
From up here, it looks.
That's an F. That's a C.
Yeah, but see
I
how your
get
C
it.
rolls into that R?
Yeah.
And from up
I
here,
didn't-
from 10 miles up, it looks like an F.
Okay,
So DeSales is down in their offensive end, moving the ball around well.
Ball goes down. No, didn't see that. It was off ball call.
As there's a flag pulled out. A 3-second call.
Against the Braves, going to be stopping the ball and restart right around GLE.
So DeSales will get the restart here from behind the goal.
Good
Great
defense
defense
to
by
push
the
them back out.
Braves.
Pass down to GLE, and a pass knocked down.
Ball down on the deck here.
Wesley Alspaugh came up with another ground ball, and then there's a foul, and it's going to go to the Braves. Wesley's been very active today already. Rob?
So, folks, when a whistle is blown, the girls have to stop exactly where they are. They start the game exactly where they were when the whistle starts. You'll even notice on a timeout, the girls will drop their sticks on the field and have to go back to their position before the timeout.
Oh, good defense. They knocked the ball loose from Alspaugh, but she comes up with it again and then goes back for the loose ball. And DeSales comes up with it back in the corner. Circling back around to X, looking up top. Going to settle it in, set their offense up. Being guarded closely again by Alspaugh. Passes it off to Grace Lensmeyer back behind the cage.
Braves playing great defense here.
I was just going to say that, Rob. It looks like Indian Hill has really got DeSales stymied
on the deck.
defense.
That's Lily.
And here goes Lily.
Lance.
Watch her
Speed
go.
demon, lightning fast, gets the ball up.
There's
That's
going to
gonna
be
be
a
a-
call there. I actually thought that should be a call.
This is going to be a restart. Sarah Price just past midfield.
Rabinol with the balls, quickly collapsed on by 3 defenders as she brings the ball down into the offensive zone. And they're leaving her unguarded.
That's a
That's-
mistake. What was that? Rob, we have to read up on the rules.
I think that was
a little bit.
dangerous play called. It'll be a free start in the halo area
Okay.
as
We're getting
Rabinol.
Getting a thumbs up from the cameraman next to us who seems to know all the rules.
Rabinol gets stopped. Ball down on the deck. It's going to be Braves ball from the 8-meter arc.
That's Vi Robertson will start or no, I guess Ellie Rabin will start up at the 8-meter line, 8-meter circle.
A lot more nuances to the rules of this game than the boys' game.
Ellie drives through and makes a nice save by the goalie, but there's another whistle.
She'll be back at the 8-meter. We have 11:54 here in the
Looks like she's got a little bit more room here now
half.
than she had before. And shoots over the top of the cage. It's backed up by Sarah Price.
So Price will get the restart here on the backup as they move it to Kennedy.
Now, one of the interesting things, too, about the girls' game that's vastly different about the boys' game is with a 3-goal lead, it's not a huge lead, but the girls, they could just hold this ball for the rest of the half if they wanted to, Rob, with no recourse from the officials. There's no, in the girls' game, there's no shot clock, there's no penalty for stalling the ball, and I don't advocate that, but it's a strategy that the college teams have used in the past, and I think most of the coaches are opposed to it, but they still utilize it to their advantage.
So it's going to be the Braves ball at the 8-meter. Nope, looks like they're going to get the restart at the 12-meter.
So with
just inside the 12-meter.
So Sarah Price is going to have the ball. Passes it back down to the wing.
That's Vi Robertson, who wraps around.
Brings it back out top. Yes.
We're at 10:19 left in this half. And there's a turnover on the Braves as DeSales will start with a charging call against the Braves.
I think that was actually that might have been a little bit of an off-ball charge on.
I believe it was on Rabinal.
Ellie was getting a little physical down there.
You know, Mike, I'll never forget the very first women's lacrosse game that I went to watch was a Mount Notre Dame game where my friend Russell Mackey has been coaching for years, has a couple state championships to his name, puts a lot of girls in college. They were taking on Sycamore. And, you know, as a goalie's dad, I always like watching the goalies because they're the only player on the field that's pretty much dressed the same way as a
They have
boys
the helmet,
player.
They have the gloves.
They have a helmet, the gloves, chest protector. And I'll never forget Mount Notre Dame player who I think went on to play for UC takes a shot and it hits the goalie right in the chest. They wave, they blow the whistle. They called it a dangerous shot. And I'm like, how can that be a dangerous shot? So this will be a free start for DeSales from the 8-meter.
This is their first opportunity from the 8-meter. See if they can
And
convert, and
they
they do. So with
8:57,
it's 3-1. Indian Hill over DeSales.
So which one's yours?
Mine is the extra goalie down there, number 99.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have a son playing as a goalie in college. I'll never forget that. I mean, this was a great.
mine starts for Otterby next year.
Great.
As a goalie, so yeah.
It's supposed to run. Isn't the clock supposed to run? I thought the girls game had just.
No, it's not a run clock. So Rabinal and Fianati at the draw again. That's Stacy Morton is the center official. And that's going to go DeSales' way as Ellie violated the halo area. So folks, if you want to think of a halo in the girls' game, it's the area pretty much from the inner side of the outer part of the shoulders all the way up and around, almost like they have a helmet on, but they don't wear helmets. And that's going to be, is that going to be a charging call on DeSales that time?
DeSales, it looks like.
Be a restart for the Braves. And I believe that's Stephanie Trainer.
Oh,
No, that's Schumacher with the ball right now.
Moving up the middle.
And that's going to be a dangerous play call on DeSales.
Oh, that's going to be a yellow card. Oh.
For a slash, actually. In the boys' game, that did not look like a slash. It'll be a 2-minute penalty. You know, one of the funny things about listening to my son's college games is the announcer down there knows the girls' game much better than he knows the boys' game. and he always talks about the boys going into the kneel down. They're taking a kneel down. And he always talks about in the college game, they actually have a chair in the penalty box area that the girls get to sit on. We don't have that here at Indian Hill. She's taking a kneel down. So this will be a restart for the Braves out at about the top of the offensive box area for the Braves, and it'll be Robin Schumacher with the restart.
Now with the yellow cards, Rob, in the girls' game, that's the first yellow card on that player. If she gets the second one, she's out for the rest of the game.
Yep.
Which
Much
is
like
a little bit different
much
than
like
the boys'
soccer.
game. Yes.
Ellie with a
Ellie
great
rolling
roll.
inside.
Great stop by the keeper for DeSales. Picked up quickly by
It's Lily
by
Lance,
Lance,
with the ball.
who
She wraps
rolls
around wide
and
open and
gets a
scores.
score.
That's her fourth
So
goal today.
man up goal by Lily Lance at 7:19. Our clock is correct on the screen, folks, as the Indian Hill Hawk goes running through the end zone area.
Yeah, that's
So
they
it's a
just
4-1
announced
game
the
here in the
stadium.
first half. Mike, this is a much better weather than we had last night for the boys' game, where we were calling it Cinco de February as opposed to Cinco de Mayo. Still a little brisk. It's more like a fall day out here than a spring day, but at least the sun is shining, as you'll notice by the TV cameras picking that sun up. Same two folks facing off here at taking the draw for the girls. I take that back.
Oh, and a nice grab. That's Robin Schumacher. Comes up with the ball on the
Schumacher
draw.
controls the draw.
Kicks it. Nope, doesn't kick it back out. I guess she.
So the Braves are still playing, I guess we would really say player up or woman up, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to point out. And then they scored. The yellow cards are all non-releasable. They're
Offsides call here.
The officials are getting everybody where they want them. Lily drives in, and there's another whistle.
But I'm not really
Shooting space.
another shooting space. What I'm not really sure about is when somebody's in the penalty box, if you actually are playing down a player.
Yes. Yes, you are. Oh, a nice pass by Lily Lance, and a beautiful save by the goalie.
Nice
Cracker.
Nice job by Cracker taking that shot away.
Good ride, good defense.
And the penalty has been released. We're now all even again.
Oh, fast break for DeSales. Can't quite get the whistle. Not sure what that was. A beautiful pass
Beautiful
and shot.
pass and score by, I think that's,
Can't make the number out.
assist came from Peyton, Nebraska, number 1. And I believe the score was number 19,
I think it,
Sophia,
17?
or was that number 17 that scored, Mike?
I think it was 17, but
Hannah McGold.
there you go. That sounds right. Back at the draw circle.
Ravenel with the draw again.
Ravenel knocks it up.
Ball on the deck. Ravenel
Comes up with
controls.
their own draw. Another whistle.
I think that's a push on DeSales. So Ravenel will get the restart here.
As our good friend Dr. Ron Hess says, every time I see a good lacrosse play, they blow the whistle.
That Dr. Hess has a hard time watching girls.
But he has a daughter who's an outstanding player at Cincinnati Country Day.
Absolutely.
So he does understand the girls' game, but he's an old school boy.
He grew up in the Syracuse area where his dad was the superintendent of Syracuse schools. He played on the Indian Reservation all summer long, and he played for the national championship Hobart team back in the 70s, as well as playing football for Hobart, which most people don't know, that he actually played 2 sports for one of the most famous coaches in the game of men's lacrosse, Dave Urich.
A nice
Who
save
left.
by the goalie Cracker. A feed to the middle and to Bailey Bathalter.
It's
and
going to
she
be a
got knocked down.
push.
It's
It'll
gonna
be
a-
Braves ball. As Bailey will get the restart from the 8-meter.
With the ball restart of the 8-meter arc.
So you'll notice some penalties, everybody has to get outside the arc.
Oh,
Nice stop by the
Bailey
keeper.
takes a little bit different approach there on a.
Cracker with a phenomenal save there again, keeping this DeSales Stallion team in the game.
Oh,
And that's going to be a turnover on the Stallions. Bailey will restart it for the Braves. There is 3:36 left here in the game, folks, in the half.
Oh, another
Braves
error.
missed opportunity there by the Braves. I think they just got a little antsy.
There's
And
gonna be
it's gonna go to DeSales.
Little sloppy play here.
So-
I haven't seen a lot of it today. It's been pretty clean, but the last couple of plays by both teams have given up possessions. See if they can tighten it up and
Great
little
defense.
spin move to get through that double team.
Well, you'll notice that in the women's game, it's, because they can't body up like they do in the men's game, that what a lot of times they'll do is they'll sprint to get in front of the player and slow up to cause her to change direction. Almost like a
Moving screen.
Moving screen, but it's the defense. So you saw both those.
Oh, an underhanded
great
shot
underhand
wrapping around the
skitter
top.
for DeSales as this game is tightening up, folks. It's a 4-3 game with 2:36 left in the game. So, you always wonder, Mike, we talk about this when we travel with the boys' teams up north or somewhere after being on a bus for a while, whether or not the visiting team has a disadvantage because they've been cooped up in a bus or in cars for a couple hours, and it takes a little bit of time to get their legs back under them. This DeSales team has come alive in the last 5 minutes of this half.
Yeah, they have. Indian Hills defense looked very stifling in the first 10 or 15 minutes of this game, but DeSales has started to find some cracks in it down there, and they're getting some good shots off. Well, hopefully this game will be a back and forth game the whole way. The two
So Rabinol
pops it up.
and number 10 this time for
Rabinol comes up with their own draw
is
and then gets hit in
Jeannie
the head.
Fianati, the older sister of Sophia.
And the coach's other daughter.
So Rabinol will get the restart. She gets
Pass
the ball
down to
down to Bailey Balthauer.
Who looks to Robin Schumacher cutting down the middle and chooses
to Ellie.
not push it. There's Ellie rolling.
One of the things I love about Ellie is she's a great Dodger, and she's a very physical player.
Well, she was on the Under Armour All-American girls underclass team last year
As a freshman.
as a freshman, which is quite an accomplishment. Traveled out to Baltimore to play.
So we were talking about penalties. Some penalties you'll notice that the players start right where they were. Some penalties they have to get outside the arc area.
Oh, Reagan Wentz gets trucked from behind. That's really got hit. That's about as much contact as
And that's
I've
going to
seen.
be a yellow card, so it'll be another 2-minute penalty.
Wow.
And here's what I don't know. I'll see if my good friend here from DeSales can tell me. Is that carry over into the half? So it will be a 2-minute non-releasable penalty. They'll start the second half. Player down with about 20 seconds left in the penalty.
And so Reagan gets to try again. And shoots over the top of the cage.
Great
It's
defense by
backed up
the
Sarah
Stallions.
Price.
They're stifling.
Yes, their defense has picked up, and their offenses seem to find some loopholes. Oh, I think Nina Price was in the for Sarah Price.
In the
I'm
shooting
sorry,
sphere. So it'll be a restart for the Braves from the 8-meter.
They called that before because she clearly stepped into the crease. I didn't see the shooting space. It's because I never see the shooting space, Rob.
And we're not used to that.
No, there's Emily always looking like there's another.
I would say that was just great defense, Mike, but there was a whistle. Oh, no, they're calling it against the Braves, a charge on the Braves.
Oh, they are. Okay.
So it'll be the sales ball.
No, that's not what it is. Sarah Price is lining up on the 8-meter
Nope,
mark.
They're calling it a check or illegal push or
illegal push.
And you'll notice the player that violated was brought out.
Nice save by Cracker on Sarah Price's
having
shot.
a phenomenal game. She's seeing lots of shots and she's making great stops. There you go, seeing that defensive. And Bailey gets called.
Bailey gets called for
being in the sphere.
So the Braves will retreat back to defense as Sales pushes it up the middle and she dodges right down and
Another
scores.
great score. Folks, with 1 minute left in this half,
we are tied up, Rob.
The Stallions have tied this game up. So the Braves came out quickly, scored 4. The Sales has answered with 4 of their own. And we're going to go to another draw. The defense for the Braves.
Okay.
We're going to have a replay shot by DeSales. Folks, I'm Rob Young with Mike Fruland here in the booth, bringing you the live action from Tomahawk Stadium, where the #1 ranked team in the state, the DeSales Stallions out of Columbus, take on the Lady Braves here in historic Tomahawk Stadium. We should have a replay here of that shot by DeSales.
Now, I'd like
Great dodge.
an explanation as to why that, well, I guess she ran past her earlier, why there wasn't a shooting space called. She was defending in front of her. And DeSales comes up with the draw. And with under a minute to go, they've got control of the ball at their offensive end, looking to take a lead into halftime.
Another shot stopped by Anderson.
Very nice save by Emily. Gonna clear out. That's Vi Robertson. Oh, nice handle by Emily. Or by
to Ellie, who's bringing it down.
Rabinold.
Don't get in the truck's way.
Now, what's the whistle there? What?
I don't understand it, Mike.
I just don't. Yeah, but
they're
just
saying
every
that
time
they
get
were
in
in the space.
Isn't that what defense is, Rob? Oh, there you go.
And there's that rocket of a shot by Ellie Ribinal.
Now,
as the Braves go up 5-4 with 26.5 seconds left here in the half. So, Mike, you and I definitely, here comes a replay of that. You and I definitely need an education. I think we'll work on that during halftime so we can be a little smarter in our calls. Here comes the replay. I don't know. I think we can get the education, but we'll still have a hard time understanding it because we look at this game so much differently. And, you know, I kind of understand the safety issue around the head and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm seeing some great defense that they're blowing the whistle on. So, but anyways, that's the rules of the game. The girls, like I said, this game is very much about speed and finesse. I love it, especially when you have two high-powered teams like we have here this afternoon at Tomahawk Stadium. So this should be an exciting game in the second half. Rabinold taking the face, and it's going to go DeSales' way. DeSales has figured out how to beat Rabinold on the face. I'm sorry, the draw.
Winning the draws,
and that's going to be a technical stick to the head. That's the call. So, you know, in the boys' game, a stick to the head's called a slash, and it's a penalty, and somebody goes into the box. But in the girls' game, I guess if it's not malicious or not intentional, they just stop play, give the free restart. And you'll notice this time that there's people inside that.
They just roll
so
it back
I would equate that kind of to the difference between a technical penalty and a personal foul in the boys' game. That's a technical. They don't have to be outside that fan area of the 8 and 12 meter. Braves playing tight D, picked up, and the Braves will go in here at halftime 5-4. So, Mike, a great first half of play by both teams. Now, the Braves came out hot, stifling defense. I think they got a little sloppy in the second half of this half, and and allowed DeSales to get back in this game very quickly.
I think that's part of it, Rob, but I think your other observation, I think DeSales picked up the pace a little bit in the last 10 minutes of that first half, and they showed up. They're for real. They're ranked number 1 in the state for a reason, and Indian Hill's going to have to find an answer to the draw, number 1. Ellie's had some trouble the last couple of draws. Our defense has seemed to get a little bit slack in the middle.
So, folks, this is Rob Young with Mike Fruland bringing you the live. We're going to take a short intermission here for halftime, folks. Take this time to go to your refrigerator, get your drinks. If you're in the stadium, head to the concession stand where it is 2-for-1 night as a continuation of Cinco de Mayo. Oh, wait, that's 2-for-1 sodas, not margaritas, folks. I'm Rob Young signing off here for the halftime intermission, and we will be back for second half action.
Indian Hill youth lacrosse players, go ahead and take the field.
Yo, stop. Alright, so y'all are about to tune in to the enlightening, fantastic, amazing program this side of the Mississippi. It's called Braves Beat. Educate yourself.
Happy Friday, my Braves.
And happy Cinco de Mayo.
Adam, I've got to say, I love this sombrero.
Gracias, amiga. Time for some action.
Friendly reminder to set your calendars because on Tuesday, May 16th, Chieftain, our school newspaper, will be holding a fundraiser at the Montgomery Road Chipotle. Be sure to buy a burrito and support your local journalists.
Your Indian Hill tennis team played Torpin on Monday and came out with a 3-2 win. On Wednesday, the team played the top D1 team in the state, Mason High School, coming out strong on all courts. The Braves fought through some hard matches. Due to a rain delay, the match was moved into the Camargo. In the end, the Braves lost, but it was a good match. Here's some highlights from the matches.
Way to compete, Braves.
Our Indian Hill students took on the national DECA competition in Anaheim against 19,000 kids from around the world. 14 Indian Hill students made it to nationals, and Cameron Metz and A.J. King made finals, with A.J. King making it to the top 10. Be sure to congratulate all of the DECA nationalists.
This past Tuesday was senior night for our girls lacrosse team. They defeated Lebanon 18-4. Wish them luck for tomorrow when they play at home against St. Francis de Sales at 1.
Last weekend, your Indian Hill chess team, full of handsome, available individuals, compete in the state championship, bringing home second place. Great job, Braves. Last Friday was the Music Fest and was a great time for students and faculty alike. Here's some footage from the event.
Dr. Miles, how's it going, my man?
Fantastic. It's a great afternoon.
Hey, you enjoying Music Fest? You feeling the vibes?
I have never missed a music fest yet. I enjoy seeing all the kids actively engaged down here. It's always a great time to throw at the dunk tank, catch a football, do the obstacle course. It's always a great time.
Hey, Liz.
Oh my gosh.
How you enjoying Music Fest?
It's okay.
Oh, I'm having a great time at
Music Fest right now. It's decent. It's a good year. I'm glad it's not raining. It's a good time. Awesome.
It's pretty good. Had a lot of customers.
Yeah, making money.
Music Fest this year is great. It would be wonderful if someone would turn the sun on, but no rain, dunk tape, lots of sweet treats, music is going. It's a good day.
The American Bar Association Commission on Civic Education, in conjunction with the Ohio Center for Law Related Education, annually recognizes Ohio students who have gone above and beyond to be informed, engaged citizens who valued and are involved in their communities. Please congratulate John Wang Ryu, Milan Bandari, and Maral Singh in becoming the first and so far only IH students to be named to the Civics and Law Honor Roll. Congrats. Let's check in on John and Gabe as they hunt some ghosts.
Is that a wasp? I don't want to play your games, man. I just want to have a conversation. Let me know you're here. I don't like this. John, come here. I'm listening. Some say he still haunts this house to this day.
We're gonna get his ghost on camera and make it a groundbreaking discovery. This is a song! What, you think you can sneak up on me like that? Turn on that light flash.
Hello. Hi, Mrs. Bell. We've investigated the house, and we have concluded that it is most likely haunted by the spirit of little Timmy.
He's a creepy.
Dude, I'm gonna hang up on you.
No, don't.
Alright, but you're the one with the goats. Okay.
Earlier this week, U.S. News and World Report releases its 2017 ranking of best high schools in the country. Indian Hill received a gold medal ranking, coming in third in the state and 125th in the nation. Out of over 6,000 high schools that were ranked, this is up 1 spot in Ohio and 56 spots nationally compared to last year.
That's all we've got, Braves.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, like our Braves Beat Facebook page, subscribe to us on YouTube, and email us with any school updates.
And as always,
stay classy, Indian Hill.
Are we back? Here we are.
All right, we're back. This is Rob Young with Mike Fruland. We're about 1 minute into this second half. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty with the audio. The Braves lead the Stallions 5-4 here. The Stallions have won the first draw of the half, and they're in there.
Oh, and they
just
nice
a
corner
great
shot
over top the goalie's off-stick side.
Well, Rob, we've just had 4 of our men's varsity team walk into the booth to watch the girls from up in the broadcast booth. We've got who you would call Alec Taylor. His name is really Alex Major.
I like calling him Alex Taylor.
We got Luke Schumann. We got Bryn Irvine. And we got Jimmy Brunette, who scored the game-winning goal last night against Kings in the rainstorm. So,
Mike, should we tell them that they need to watch the girls on how to handle the ball?
Yeah, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Guys, you had 14 turnovers in the first quarter of the game.
I still can't hear you.
Sound went back out.
Okay, Lily Lance coming up. There's another whistle. It's going to go Indian Hill's way. But we're back tied up again with 23 and a half minutes left in the game.
Ravenel with the ball coming up into the offensive zone for the Braves. So, Mike, let's see if we learned anything during halftime. Ellie has the ball.
Ellie Ravenel goes to the goal and shot
Great
off.
Save by the keeper. That's Cracker with a great save. Hello.
So the Braves come up with the ball, tied up 5-5 with 22 minutes.
Can you hear me? Check, check, check.
Okay, Ellie Ravenel's got the ball at the top. She's working it around, looking for cutters.
Can you hear me, Mr. Dupp?
Ellie looks a little bit perplexed here. She doesn't know where to go with the ball. Nobody's cutting. I think they need to just bring it back out and set up the offense again. Reagan Wentz dumps a pass down inside. Ball's on the ground. Reagan comes up with the ball, kicks it back out top to Ellie. Ellie Ravenel decides to set it up and slow it down, catch their breath and set this offense up. It looked a little
Mr. Dupps, can you hear me?
okay. Ellie's still working the ball. Oh, there's a foul on DeSales, so Ellie's going to get the ball.
Check, check, check.
So Ellie's going to get a free shot here from about 10 meters out. See if she can take a couple steps and break this tie. Waiting for the whistle. There it is. Ellie drives in, shoots and scores. That was a beautiful placement, off stick hip. Great placement by Ellie Ravenel on the restart. So that takes us Indian Hill Braves 6, Columbus DeSales 5 with 21 minutes and 1 second left on the clock. And we'll go back out to the draw circle.
1, 2.
We got Ellie taking the draw. Pops it up. DeSales comes away with the draw. And works it up the field to get their offensive end. Just dodging, weaving through, takes a shot. Nice save by Emily Anderson. Knocks the ball out, but it's backed up by DeSales.
1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2.
So number 20, Grace Lensmeyer will bring the ball in from the wing. It's guarded by Reagan Wentz. Kicks it out to the top to Sophia Finati, who dodges down the right wing and scores. Puts it right over the shoulder of Emily Anderson on a real nice alley dodge and goal to tie this game back up 6-6. I think we're in for a shootout. This might be the last team that has the ball wins this game, the way it's looking right now. With 20 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game, we're all even at 6. To Sophia
Finati, who died.
So we're back at the face-off draw.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome back, folks, to
Okay.
Indian Hill Tomahawk Stadium, where I finally have sound. Ellie Rabinell taking the draw,
that's
and
gonna
that's
be-
going to be a trip on.
They're going to call that on DeSales, but I think that was, they just got tangled up with each other. I
Well,
think that was
basketball, we'd call that a flop.
a flop. Well,
A flop.
they both fell, and they just got tangled up. I think that was a no call or a play on or whatever. But in any event, Lily Lightning Lanks goes racing up the side, and that's going to have to be a foul of some sort. That's they're indicating push. So Lily, who had the first 4 goals of the game, is going to get a free shot here from, looks like, the 8-meter mark. Let's see if she can get another one here and break this tie. She had great success in the first. There's another whistle. It's going to be a shooting space. Is that a shooting space?
Nope, somebody's getting carded.
I don't know what they're doing. They're
Offsetting fouls.
I thought they were doing their calisthenics.
And DeSales gets the ball. It looks like Lily Lance is going into the box.
What
for
in the
2
world
minutes.
for dodging to the goal? That's
So as we try to regain, I was busy trying to get my equipment to work again. It's a 6-6 game here. The Braves have the ball outside the arc.
Ellie Rabinell will start with the ball, kicks it over to Sarah Price, kicks it around to Robin Schumacher, back out to Ellie. They're just moving it around. I don't know how long, is this a 2-minute
Yeah, I think
penalty?
so. She got a yellow card. I would think that's.
I think you're right. I think that would be 2 minutes. But so I'm baffled by some of the. How did Indian Hill keep the ball then if the penalty was on Lily?
I'm wondering if well, they were offsetting penalties.
Oh, so are they playing even now, or are we man up?
No, we're 2 down, I believe, Mike.
How in the world? Okay. Well, we're moving the ball. Reagan Wentz got the ball out top, kicks it back to Sarah Price. Sarah spins around. We're certainly man down because they're doubling us very well. Reagan Wentz doing a nice job of keeping the ball outside and keeping it away from.
And we only have 9 field players out there right now, so I believe we're 2 down. We're 1 down.
1 down.
Oh, there she is, behind the pillar.
Yes. Oh, Sarah Price mishandles the pass, but comes up with the ground ball. Kicks it over to Stephanie Tranter. Uh-oh.
It's going to be a turnover. Braves got to hustle back on defense.
It was Bay Freeze just ball slipped out of her stick a little bit and went over the top of Ellie's stick out of bounds. So DeSales will come back down the field, and
she
as
blows
they
past
have
Ellie.
been, there's going to be a whistle there. So that'll be a free start outside of the box.
Very similar to last year's game, Mike, where the final score was 7-8.
Well, we hope and predicted that this was going to be a close game, as you correctly pointed out. Now that's a charge. I know that call from basketball, Rob. That was a charge call.
That was the right call. I think a charge gets called if the player lowers their shoulder.
Or is just out of control going to the goal, it looks like. She lost her footing and was diving forward and ran into one of the defenders.
So that'll be a turnover on DeSales as the Lady
it's-
Braves bring this ball up. Robin Schumacher with it. And I believe we're all even now.
There's a Another whistle. Little push. So yeah, you're right, Rob. There's nobody in the kneel down right now. So
it's the funniest thing when I hear it. I just chuckle every time.
I did.
Especially when you're listening to a live stream college game, you would think that the announcer would actually take the time to learn what that's called.
Little quick ball movement behind the crease to get it to Ellie Raybenold out top. There's another whistle.
And they just threw a yellow card on somebody.
I didn't see that. It was off ball, Rob. It was not.
It was off ball. That's why we didn't
play.
see it.
I don't see a card though. Actually,
He held
Rob.
up a yellow card. Oh, yellow flag. See, this is where it gets tricky. Yellow flags, yellow cards.
I seriously think they just make it up as they go along, Rob. Oh, there's Robin Schumacher on that's got to be a foul.
I think they called her for a charge.
No, I don't believe so. That was it was the cross-check move that the referee made. Although I don't.
Is this a cross-check, Mike?
This was the referee.
I saw this call.
There's going to be
another chance.
I don't know. I haven't seen that call either.
Slash.
Is that a slash? Okay, so Robin Schumacher will once again get the ball at the 8-meter mark, right in front of the goalie. Has a real good angle on the goalie. And she shoots off cage, just misses to the left. Backed up by Ellie Raybenold. Rolls around. Lily Lance has gone down to the ground. I'm not sure. She looks like she's hurt. I don't know if she got hit or rolled her ankle or.
I'm not sure there either.
She looks like she's up and stretching out and is okay, but I didn't see what happened. You guys have a replay of that to see what happened to Lily? 11 down on the crease.
Here's the restart. Raybenold rolls.
Okay, there's a whistle, so it's going to be a free shot for Ellie at the 8-meter. There's Lily right here. Don't know what happened. She just, she must have caught a knee or something from the girl going by. She was setting a little pick for Ellie. And 13 looks like she runs in, probably gave her a shot to the knee or the hip or something, but she went right down. But
so they're bringing the coaches in onto the field to talk to the officials. And as we'll get a restart here.
I'm not sure what that was about. Maybe Coach Fanati from DeSales was wondering why they called that play dead. So there's this is going to be a free. Oh, Ellie can't get the shot off clean, and Cracker picks it up off the ground, and DeSales comes back the other way, mishandles the ball. And that's going to be a whistle on Lily, I'm afraid. I have to believe. So they'll restart it at the 25-yard line going upfield. DeSales retreats back. And they move up the side, running with Lily Lance. And there's a whistle.
In that sphere that we talked about, Mike. Sometimes I wish they'd not blow because they really take the advantage away from the offensive player. I mean, she had clearly beat the defender, and you almost, because there's no real.
I think it's a strategy that the defenses can use.
Yeah, it's but it takes the sportsmanship out of the game.
It certainly takes the speed of the game out of the game.
It creates a uniqueness to the game that's.
Now
And the
what do we
timeout
got?
as the girls drop their
Timeout,
sticks
they drop
and
their
head to the
sticks.
sidelines to converse with their coaches. Mike, you know, we talk a lot about the differences of the game, a lot of stop clock. A traditional boys high school game will last somewhere between about an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half. Typical girls game will last about 2 hours. They do play a couple extra minutes. They play halves, not quarters. Obviously, there's a lot of little nuances, and again, when it's played well, and I got to tell you, this is a different game this half than it was the first half. A little more chippy, a lot more stoppage in the game, and it, you know, you got to think both these teams want to win. You know, this is the state championship game right here in front of our eyes here at Tomahawk Stadium, Mike.
Yes, it is. It's just hope that it can be replayed again in a couple of weeks up in Columbus. It would be justified. These teams played last year for the state championship. They're playing late in the season this year, ranked 1 and 2, and it would be great for them to be able to play again in the championship game in a couple of weeks.
And all those folks joining us on air, this is Rob Young with Mike Fruland bringing you the IHTN Sports Network's feature event of Saturday afternoon here at Tomahawk Stadium, historic Tomahawk Stadium, where the #1 Lady Stallions take on the #2 Lady Braves in a grudge match and a rematch of last year's state championship game that was this close, this tight, was an exciting game that ended with a 1-goal win by the Stallions. So the Braves want to win, the Stallions want to win, Mike. You got to think that the seniors on this Indian Hill team have seen, you know, 3 different coaches in their 4 years at Indian Hill. They had Katie Post that really kind of put this program back together, got them very quickly into being one of the most competitive teams in the state. This Lady Braves team goes up against Division I teams all the time and smokes them. We saw last week when we brought the game live to you that these Braves ladies are the real deal.
Yes, they absolutely are.
So I'm hoping this game gets back into that quickness, finesse, and it gets more back to watching fun lacrosse. But it has gotten a little chippy, a lot of stoppage. DeSales has the ball. You know, the Braves beat St. Ursula. They've beat Springboro. They've beat Summit this year. They beat Worthington Kilbourne. They beat Kings. They beat Wyoming. They lost a close one in a last-second score by New Albany, and that's their only loss. They beat Marymount, Olentangy Orange, Olentangy Liberty. They beat the Lady Comets out of Mason, who's always in the top of the state, and they beat them handily, 21-11. So this is a great game to watch. It's a 6-6 game with 12 minutes left in the game, and now you're seeing some great matchup defense here. Great stop by Anderson.
Save. And that's going to go back to Indian Hill, or nope, they're going to award that to. Not sure of that, unless the rules are different than the boys' game. But Indian Hill was.
Hey, Mike, one thing is for sure, the rules are
not the
different.
same.
Guarantee you the rules are different.
That was.
Nice stop by the.
I think that was the cage helping.
And
Emily
in the
out a
crease
little bit
called
there.
on.
In the circle?
They call it in the circle in the girls' game. We call it the crease.
I think you're going to find out that the. Oh, a good quick ground ball picked up by Robin Schumacher. She streaks up the middle of the field.
Schumacher bringing it. And we've got a whistle on one of the. Here comes Emily Anderson's save on that last save. You're going to see the DeSales player does a great job of getting past her defender, gets in there.
It was
it was off the post.
Goalie's best friend. Now again, here we go, Rob. We had a clear fast break. 3-on-2.
Something away from the ball
And
stops the game.
They just took the advantage away from them by calling a foul.
I believe it was an offsides call.
Well, this.
Well, you know, Mike, you know, in the boys' game, we always look at the midfield line. In the girls' game, it's this black line at the 30-yard line, and if they get too many people on the wrong side of that line, it's an offsides. And I think the Sales got called for an offsides. But you're right.
It's
you know, the boys' game,
it's a play on in the boys' game, and you let it work itself out, and then it just gets waved off if there's no effect on the play. Now there's going to be a yellow card.
Yellow card on number three. So to Sales will go down.
It's Leah Richards.
Go down a player for 2 minutes. Comes low.
Well, I think there's another timeout being called here, this time by Indian Hill.
We're going to take a look at this call, and what you're going to see is I believe she got the stick to the head is what the call is going to be. I would think that's the type of call that it has to be to get a yellow card.
There it is right there. She got up into Lily Lance's head, and then she just stumbled and fell over. So the fall to the ground wasn't really due to impact. It was more due to just tripping or stumbling. But there's the shot right to the side of Lily's
shot
head.
to the head. Though I think Lily Lance might get an Emmy for that.
Yeah, maybe. But she did get hit.
Bringing the attention. I don't know enough to call that. But I would say, Mike, you know, again, that's the frustration that I have watching this girls' game is a lot of stop play. You seem to take the momentum away from the offensive team. You know, in a close game like this, let them play on. Let's, you know.
Well, the difference, Rob, is you've watched plenty of boys' games with me. I will tell the officials very clearly when they've made a mistake in the boys' game. It's very obvious that they made an error, made a bad call. This game, I'm just questioning what the rules are, because I don't criticize the refs, other than I think they blow their whistles too much in general, but I can't criticize them because I don't know what the specific rules are. In the boys' game, I have a little bit different attitude.
And not knowing, I mean, when we watch that replay, I'm going to, you know, obviously the penalty was called, but I think there was an Emmy Award-winning acting job by the Indian Hill player there, which is part of the game. You know, we teach our boys in basketball, hey,
sure,
if you get bumped, fall hard so that you get the call. So, you know.
So here's Lily Lance restart at the 12-meter. She dodges in, rolls around, and that's going to be a whistle. So she'll get a free restart at the 8-meter, with this time with nobody in front of her. So you would like to think that Lily will go in and score, and shoots it over the top of the cage. So it's backed up by Bailey.
Backs that up. You know who's been quiet in this game today is Bailey.
Bailey has been quiet, and just
and
as
she's got the ball, she dishes it
off.
Oh,
nice feed to Robin Schumacher and a score.
Hopefully we can get a replay. That was a great dish by Bailey, who I said had been kind of quiet. And she has been quiet. She's usually one of the scorers. She's usually taking the draws. Today she's been a little bit on the quiet side. But that was a great assist by Beth Auer on that goal. As Schumacher scores the 7th goal for the Braves at 9:07.
Here's Robin cutting across the middle as Bailey hits her, and Robin takes 3 more steps across the crease to avoid 2 defenders and pops it in the back of the goal. Very nice.
So here we are back at the draw with Ravenol.
Pops it up, and Indian Hill comes away. Robin Schumacher with the ball. Kicks to the middle to Lily Lance. Lily's racing down the field, and that's going to be a charge call. And again, I think she was just a little bit out of control as she made that dodge, and DeSales is.
We
goalie.
still have a player advantage over DeSales, so you got to think the Braves are going to look at doubling this ball up.
They are. They're trying to ride strong here. Oh, very risky pass, but it found its mark. And DeSales clears it up the field and gets it to the offensive end. They've had great success on their individual dodging today, Rob, much more so than Indian Hill. Indian Hill's been scored from the 8-meter free shots and off of passing. I think DeSales has got some girls that can dodge and go around people. They've scored a number of their goals just that way. So here's Bailey Bathalter playing defense, and you're right, they're still doubling. You got Lily Lance and Bailey.
Well, we've got probably, I'm going to say, about 15 seconds left in the advantage.
Foul on Bailey for being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And I take that back. We are now all even again.
A lot of dodging and off the pipe and a garbage goal goes back in.
You know, that's just great field presence to get the ricochet off the crossbar.
Same player too.
And
shooter bounces it off.
As we would say in a basketball game, get the rebound and put it right back in. Here comes a replay of that goal. Let's see who was.
Really nice
number 13
dodging
for DeSales, who is a junior, Abby Dope, off the pipe and gets it back and puts it in.
Very nice.
So we're all tied up with 7:20 left here in the second half of this grudge match between the Stallions and the Braves. Ravenel at the draw for the Braves against Fianati.
Lily Lance and Robin Schumacher on the wings. Robin jumps up to get the ball, tips it. Lily Lance comes away with it and streaks up the middle of the field. If nobody picks her up, she's going right to the cage, and there's a whistle.
So Lily Lance will be out here at the hash on the 8-meter. And you got to like the positioning that she's got here. But this keeper, Cracker's been a great stopper today.
She's made a lot of very, very nice saves on some very hard shots. Lily dodges the middle, loses
she
the
drops
ball.
the ball to the deck.
Ball goes down to the ground. It comes up. There's a whistle again.
Braves are going to maintain the ball.
Yeah, Robin Schumacher's got the ball up top. Wheeling it around very slow. I think Robin's got the ball. Yeah, it looks, it's hard to tell. Looks like they're just kind of slowing it down to get their breath here. Get their offense set up. They got something going on.
Well, that's a new one for me, Mike.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, Rob.
That's like an inbounds pass in basketball.
Oh, and Robin Schumacher right around. What's the call?
Great stop by the keeper again.
That was a really nice inside roll by Robin. Now she's going to get the ball out at the 8-meter. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, and Robin gets the ball knocked loose. That's going to be another foul. She'll get another opportunity.
It's a holding call. And she gets another opportunity from the hash of the 8-meter.
And she gets the ball knocked loose again, but Bailey Bathalter comes up with it behind the
Bathalter
cage,
picks it up.
comes around the top of the, and another whistle.
So we're at 4:53.
Okay, well, you said Bailey was quiet all day. I predict you're going to hear some Bailey Bathalter right now. Oh, a bounce shot that goes off the top of the cage. Indian Hill comes up with the ball. Robin Schumacher with the ball, and there's going to be another
That's
halo.
another sphere violation on DeSales.
Just in the sphere, in the head, in the halo range. Dangerous stick play. Ellie Rabinold battling inside against two, and then there's another whistle. So now there's more whistles.
Let's stop the clock. And the officials are going to be talking to, looks like Lily Lance.
I'm not sure what that was about, but now you got, is there anybody you'd rather have the ball out at the 8-meter mark than Ellie right now in this position, Rob?
She's got a rifle.
She could shoot it from there, I'm pretty sure, but.
Gotta like the setup for the Braves here. Can they score? DeSales close down, and I don't think it counts.
It doesn't count because, of course, the whistle blew first.
Shooting space. Another shooting space violation. And Mike, we talked about this at halftime. You and I asking.
And then she scores that time. You're not going to get that one back.
That was a rocket.
That was a rocket.
So with 4:02 left in the game, the Braves go up again, 8-7. As we, again, folks, this is a very similar game to the state championship game last year. Here comes a replay as there's a timeout on the field. We got an injured player for DeSales. Here comes Ellie. Just nice little hop step and.
Again, off-stick hip, Rob, as you know, as a goalie's dad, that's the toughest place to make the save. And it wasn't on the shot.
As the Indian Hill trainer comes out, Terry Conti. Thanks to Beacon Orthopedics. You know, the Braves are very fortunate to have great sponsors of all their athletic programs of IHTN. You know, we've got we got Dial One Security, Everything But the House, Sipsy Klein, Clee Camp, Weiler, BB&T Bank, Beacon Orthopedic, and I believe Architect Plus is the other one. My eyesight's going a little bad, so it's hard to see all the way down the field here to all our sponsors. But folks, again, just so you know, if you're watching this anywhere in the state or outside the state, we've had people as far away as Hong Kong watching games here at Indian Hill. This is a completely student-run television network. Obviously, I am not a student, and Mr. Fruland is not a student, but we come up to help them out by being the on-air announcers for lacrosse games, basketball games. And the other night, this group of kids won, I think they ended up taking home 12 or 15 what's called Blue Chip Awards here in Cincinnati, which is the equivalent of the television Emmys for their productions from Braves Beat to pre-game shows to live television broadcasts like this. Again, this is completely run by students, and we can't go without saying thanks to Mr. Dupps, who is the teacher that has been leading this organization. Some people say for a long, long time. I will tell you that it is 30-plus years. He's been teaching actually 50 years, and you would never know that he's anywhere near that age. He has a couple national handball championships, Mike. So in his own right, he is a successful athlete, and he loves helping these kids. Most people don't know this. Many, many great television producers have come out of this program. Many great TV personalities have come out of this program that Mr. Dupps has been running for 30-plus years. So, folks, I'm Rob Young with Mike Fruland. We're just guests here, being led by a great team of students who run the cameras, who run the boards, who produce the show, direct the show, and their leader of this enterprise is Mr. Dupps. So our hats off to them. This will be our last lacrosse game of the season, most likely, at least regular season game, as Ellie Rabinold gets ready to take the draw again for the Braves against Fianati, and the Braves are up 8-7 with 4 minutes to go.
And
Rabinold's
ball's loose on the ground, and it looks like Bailey Bathalter, nope, gets it knocked loose. Ball's still down. I can't imagine that there's not a whistle there somewhere.
And that's going to the Braves. Not sure I agree with that call.
I don't know. Oh, it's not. It's going to DeSales.
Oh.
I think the first.
That I agree with. I'll give my hats off. That's kind of what I saw.
Oh,
ooh, and
nice,
DeSales is
nice
coming down.
pass. Lily Lance is going to make up some tracks there with as fast as she is. You're not going to get all the way down the field on
So
her.
DeSales is going to set their offense up.
With 3 minutes and 20 seconds left.
And it looks.
This is coming down very similar to the game that we did last night, Rob. Indian Hill was up by a goal with 3 minutes left, and the opponent had the ball and came down and tied it up with just seconds on the clock.
You know, some of these plays that these girls are running remind me of Tim McKay on the boys' side. Tim McKay is the head coach of the boys lacrosse team, longtime middle school coach, and we had a play when the 2014 team was playing in the state tournament called the Three Amigos, a very similar type of movement on the field to try to get a kind of a sneaky shot in.
Oh, and they score. So we're all tied up here.
That ties it up with 2:37. It's an 8-8
seconds.
game. Here comes a replay of that great shot by I believe it's number 11, senior Annalise
Getz. So we're going to have the draw here with senior Jenny Fanati with Ellie Rabenald taking the draw. Senior against a sophomore. Ellie jumps up to get the ball, knocks it loose, and Lily Lance comes up with it with 2.5 minutes left, and of course there's a whistle.
I just want him to play, Mike. You know, I got to give my hats off. These girls are great athletes, and
there's another whistle. Push.
And you would just love to let them run and see where this game would go. Obviously, keep it safe. But just so many times you take the athleticism of some of these girls away. You know, the speed of Lily Lance.
Well, here's
Lily. If I'm
looking.
trying to defend, I'm going to step in front of her and take the call because it doesn't really cost us anything other than stopping the play. It allows me to set up on defense.
There's Robin Schumacher out top with the ball. She's rolling inside. Going to kick it out. Nope, she doesn't kick it out to Ellie. She's going to keep it herself and take it back behind the cage. Going to set something up from behind the cage. A lot of very effective offenses can be run from back there because the defenders are constantly turning back and forth. There's Ellie wide open. Oh my gosh, there's a call. It looked like Ellie was one-on-one with the goalie and didn't pull the trigger. But she got the call.
I wonder if that's shooting space.
You think that was Ellie being smart, not shooting because... But she's got the ball now and at the 8-meter mark. Let's see if she takes it in or if she brings it back out.
I think she's going to take one of her hop steps and fire it away.
I'm thinking...
That's been very successful for her today, from the 8-meter.
Yeah. She doesn't have as good an angle, and she's... I think
nope,
I was just going to say, with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, I think they want to burn a little bit of clock before they get their shot. Now she's got it. Just a little bit over 1 minute to go here. I think you get down to 40 or 30 seconds. I think you'll see Ellie advance on the goal. There's a nice roll, fake, and then there's going to be another call.
So I think a shooting space violation. I didn't see the hand gesture, but it appeared to be, based on what we were educated on during halftime, that was a shooting space.
Oh, nice save by Cracker on Ellie. A hard shot from the 8-meter mark.
Well, the Braves need to mark up their player and work on defense here.
There's a whistle. Not sure what that is. Oh, it's going to Indian Hill. Was that in and out? Do they have the same in and out rule that the boys do? If the goalie stepped out of the crease and stepped back in.
I'm not sure what that call was, Mike. I'm going to mute myself here and get an explanation.
in any event, Bailey Bathalter's going to have the ball, and she comes down in. Oh, and another beautiful save.
Great stop by the keeper.
And there's going to be a push call, so Bailey's going to get a free shot probably from the 8-meter mark. Robin Schumacher came up with the loose ball anyway, so.
Let's see if we can get a replay on that real quick.
Bailey came in.
Let's hold off.
Save.
They're going to get this restarted too quick for us.
So
we're not going to have that replay here on that save. All right, so.
Well, I've got to say, Rob, ever since you mentioned that Bailey's been quiet today, she's been all over the place. She's wheeling it back out.
Okay, there's the push after the shot, so that's what the call was. It was a push after the shot was taken by Bailey.
Passes down to Bailey, and there's yet another whistle. Again, a beautiful pass to a cutting Bailey Bathalter, but they're going to. Now there's going to be a restart from about the 11 meters out.
Ellie with the ball. 31 seconds left in this game. Ellie.
No, I'm not sure what that call is.
Shooting space again, Mike.
That's a shooting space, of course. Now there's nobody in front of her, and I don't see anybody can get in front of her.
She's got a great quick
Scores.
shot. Score.
She bounces it in underneath the stick of the goalie. It's 9-8 with 25 seconds left. And as it was last night, Rob, if we can win this draw, that might be the winning goal.
It could be, but again, Mike, great shot by Ellie, but you got to think that, a game this close, a game this big, let the girls play, Mike. Let the girls play. They keep blowing the whistle, and eventually a defense is going to have a hard time stopping that, especially when you get Ellie at the 8-meter mark, who's got that great quick stick shot.
I agree. I have to say, Rob, with all the calls that we've seen today, I think a lot of the shooting space calls have been called against DeSales. I think Indian Hill would have a lot more goals if it weren't for all the shooting space calls, because they basically penalized the offense on all of those calls. It's not really a penalty on the defense. It's a penalty on the offense. They've taken advantage away from the offensive effort, and I think Indian Hill's offense was very strong today. They got themselves in good position. They put themselves in situations where they had a lot of scoring opportunities, and the strategy of the DeSales defense is to get in the way. And I've always said, if I were a coach, I would live and die with the shooting space call.
It's part of that strategy side of the game that we were talking about at halftime with our friend from DeSales here, who was giving us an education. But, you stop the play so much, eventually it's tough for a defense. And maybe I'm more of a defensive-minded guy because I've got a lot of defensive players in the house.
Yeah,
but,
you do.
Well,
I don't, and I don't. I also with you. I think you got to let them play. My son's an attackman.
For example,
I'd rather
if we go back and look at that replay where they got the push call. That was a great stop by the keeper. I don't know that was a penalty, but
what are we doing here?
They called. It's a draw with 25 seconds left. Ravenhold against Fianati again.
I think very similar to the end of last night's game, Rob.
Both these teams are incredible athletes, and my hat's off to both of them. The girls are very athletic. Both teams have a lot of lightning speed, great finesse, great stick skills. We know that we're going to see this game again.
DeSales comes up with the ball, and here they go.
You got 17 seconds, and DeSales Fianati's trying to get this down. Ball's down on the ground. Braves pick it up behind the cage. And
it's going to be a push call, and there's the game. And a one-goal win for the Braves.
Game, but Mike, let's wrap this game up fairly quickly. Braves win a great game, great Saturday. Thanks to the DeSales fans for coming down. Lots of people in the stands. I don't know how many people we had watching, but I'm pretty sure somebody somewhere was watching us, Mike. And this game is going to be a rematch. you got to think here in a couple weeks
I would
for the state
certainly,
championship.
I would hope so.
I would hope
so.
We've done several of the girls' games, and this by far was the best game. Maybe we can travel to Columbus for the state championship and broadcast from there. You know, this was, you know, very appreciative of the DeSales players and their families for coming down. Great showing. The girls have their next game.
I'm not sure what their next game is.
Hold
Do you
on,
have
I've
their
got it
schedule?
here somewhere. Well, I don't have the girl. Here's the girls' schedule. The girls will be playing against Bishop Fenwick on the 10th at Bishop Fenwick. Their next two games are away, so they'll wrap up the season at Turpin on the 11th. And then we'll head into the tournament play. Folks, I'm Rob Young with Mike Fruland. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to all the producers, directors, cameramen that have worked this. Thanks to Mr. Dupps for bringing this live television broadcast to you. This is Rob Young for IHTN Sports Network signing off. Be brave, be proud. We'll talk to you soon.
On the Indian Hill Television Network has been a copyrighted presentation of the Indian Hill High School Video Department.